Hello and welcome to Orton Gillingham second grade syllable type instruction. This is a feature that's very important on the Orton Gillingham lesson plans, but specifically on the scope and sequence level 3. We will notice that it is a powerful thing to teach our scholars about syllable types. And so, if you've never had the opportunity to do this, and this is your first time, we are super excited to support you in the process. So, again, there are several different syllable types and rules that are going to help our scholars to be better able to encounter new words as they're reading. The first, and these are the ones that will be taught, will include the open and closed syllable type. The second is the magic E. The third is the R controlled syllable type. The fourth is the vowel teams. And the fifth are consonant plus the LE syllable type. And so let's begin. The open syllable. The open syllable includes a syllable that contains one vowel, it ends with a vowel, and the vowel says its name. This is what the open syllable is. And so here you see examples of HE, WOPLUTE, and SHY. And so here, our scholars would know not to say he, they would know to say he. They would know to say plu, right? And then as opposed to they would say the U. They would hear that U sound. The WO, whoa, right? Versus there you're hearing that O sound. The shy, SHY, would literally say its name, the I sound, shy. And then you have T, where you have the TE and the E saying its name. This is the open syllable type. Then you have the closed syllable type. This includes one vowel in a syllable chunk. It ends with a consonant, and the vowel says its short name. So here, it wouldn't be SUB, sub. Our scholars would know that, wow, in this chunk, I have a vowel and it ends in a consonant. And so I would never say its name, it would say the short sound, sub. Same thing with the word IT. So our scholars would ask ourselves, does IT, is it one syllable or is it a two-syllable word? Well, it, it, right? Versus it. Our scholars would know not to say it because we know that the vowel is going to say its short name when it's a closed syllable. So explicit instruction and letting our scholars know, wow, these are some different rules that if I learn these rules, then I will know how to pronounce certain words. And so again, our scholars wouldn't be confused and pronounce the word fish, for example, fish, fish. Oh, it's two syllables. No, our scholars would know that one, it's it because the vowel is going to say a short name, and then sh, right? They're going to know that sh makes a different sound, and so that explicit instruction and teaching our scholars about different digraphs. So they're going to know that that word is fish. All right. And so again, all of these things can apply. There's no plike, it's plick, right? Not blash, but blash. Another syllable type is the magic E. The magic E is when you have two vowels. One vowel is followed by a consonant and then the silent E. So you have a vowel, a consonant, silent E. Vowel, consonant, silent E. And so when this occurs, it says jumps back and makes the vowel, says its name. So again, it's almost like it bounces back. So because the magic E, it's there, but it's not there. It's silent. So our scholars need to know the magic E says, and then they say nothing. So our scholars would know, for example, the word make. If they know the magic E rule, they would not read that word in a story that we're reading and say, make, make. No, because they know one, it's a silent E. The E doesn't get a sound. And then they would learn that the vowel has to say its name. So they would say make. All right. And so this is a powerful process for our scholars. And these are other examples of the magic syllable. So the magic E syllable is you have a vowel, a consonant, and a silent E. Then we have our R controlled syllable. That's where you have one vowel followed by an R, and the R controls the vowel. It's bossy. It tells the vowel to do something different. It makes it say a completely different sound. Okay, so we have CAR. Our scholars would know that the A is not going to say its name, right? It's going to do something different. So it's not going to say care, right? It's going to say we have that C, and they know that that A and R is going to make a different sound. Okay, car. All right, and that pretty much is what we see here with these other examples as well. The R takes control and it makes that vowel do something different. Then we have the vowel team syllables. So this is where you have two or more letters that make one sound. And those letters could be two vowels. Those letters could be two consonants. But either way, it's when you have two letters that work together as a team and they formulate a different sound. We often also this can also be called a vowel digraph or a consonant digraph. But either way, two letters working together to form a different sound. And that could be two vowels or it could be a vowel and a consonant. As you see, for example, you have snow, we have the O and the W that are working together. We have the A and the Y working together. That makes a different sound. Here, the rain, we have two vowels. Boat, we have two vowels. In need, you have two vowels. Then we have the consonant plus the LE syllable. A consonant, pretty much in order to have this, you just have to have a consonant and it's followed by the LE. And so it must come after another syllable. So we know that when we're looking at the words on the screen, for example, our scholars would know to never divide this word table up and split up the B and the LE because it's always the consonant plus the LE. So once they realize that this is a rule, right, our scholars will most likely split the word table up and they would put a line between the A and the B because the BLE cannot be split up. So these rules are powerful for our scholars. And so now let's practice and see how well we can identify these syllables. So to first break down a word, we're going to help our scholars. We give them a word, as you see on the screen. And so with this one, the first thing we do is always have our scholars mark the vowel sounds. They're in second grade. By now, we would want them to be able to identify the vowels. And so with this, we ask ourselves, is there a consonant plus an LE situation in here? No. Are there any vowel teams here? No. Okay. We can even start going through some of those rules and narrowing it down. But for the sake of this exercise, the first thing we do is have them mark the vowels. So there's an A and there's an E. Great. But here we see that there's an E at the end of a word, which is usually silent. So what we do is we cross out the E because we know it's silent. It's not going to make a sound. And so because there's only one vowel in this chunk, it's very easy for us to know that, wow, this is not a two-syllable word. Our scholars would never pronounce this plain nay, right? Because they know the E is silent. And so with that being said, this is a one-syllable word. They would know that. And that's because they would know that in this situation, we have a magic E situation. And so the vowel says its name, plain. Next, breaking down words into syllables. We have another word. Our scholars would have to first identify the vowels. And so here, I see I and E. These are my two vowels. So now our scholars have to find the consonants between the vowels and break them up. So we have an I and an N. So most likely, our scholars will probably want to separate the N and the S, because the E, we have an S in front of the E, we have a CT behind the E. So not most likely they want to separate the N and the S. So they would put a line between it. Now we have to ask ourselves, what are the syllable types? The I and the N. What kind of syllable type is that? Is it an open, closed? Is it a magic E situation? No. Is it an R controlled situation? No, there's no R in this word. Are there any vowel teams in this word? No. Is there a consonant plus an LE situation? No. So we know that it's either open or closed. So the IN is considered a closed syllable. But what about the SECT? Is that an open syllable or a closed syllable? It's considered a closed syllable. Wonderful and great job. Let's practice another word. Bandit. First, we want to identify our vowels. We have the A and the I. Next, we want to ask our scholars to separate the words by syllables. Where will we most likely separate this word? So we know if there's a consonant between the vowels, then we break them apart and give each vowel a consonant. So the A, we want to give the A the consonant of the letter N, right? And we want to split them up, right? And then we want to give the letter I its own consonants as well. So this word is even Steven, right? In the sense that we have a B and an N that's surrounding the letter A, and then we have a D and a T surrounding that. So we will probably split this word up right down the middle as ban and then the dit. But then there's no consonant plus LE situation. There's no vowel teams in this word. There's no R controlled situation or no magic E situation. So I ask you, BAN, is that an open syllable or a closed syllable? You're right, it's a closed syllable. What about DIT? Is it an open syllable or closed syllable? You're right again. It's a closed syllable. So we have two closed syllables, which represents bandit. Bandit. So our scholars would be better able to read this if they knew those rules. Next, we have the word garment. Identify your vowels. A and the letter E. Divide the consonants. So now we want to make sure that every vowel has its consonant if it's available. And so most likely, we have GARMENT. Well, there's quite a bit, right? The E has the N and the T. The A could have the R. But is there a consonant plus an LE situation? Are there any vowel teams? No. Is there a magic E situation? No. Is there a controlled R situation? Ooh, we have a vowel and an R. So our scholars most likely would divide the R and the M to give each vowel their own consonants. Then there's a controlled R situation. So I know that the A is not going to say its name. It's going to make a completely different sound because the R is controlling. And so in this first syllable, it's a controlled R situation. And this syllable, it's a closed syllable. This next one, we want to break down the word subtract. So subtract says, for subtract, we have two vowels, a U and an A. And so we usually have our scholars split the word. Our scholars might try to split up the T and the R, but we want to let our scholars know that when we have the TR sound, this is one of those things where our scholars, we have a digraph alert, right? And so they need to know that the TR makes one sound. And then we have the CT and how it's important for them to blend the C and the T together to make sure it's flowing. And so we have our vowels, we have them split the word up in two parts. And so now we ask ourselves, is there a consonant plus LE situation? No. Are there any vowel teams? No. Do we have a controlling R? No. There's no vowel in front of the R, so it's not controlling anything. Is there a magic E situation? No. So now we know it's either an open or closed syllable. SUB, we know that that's a closed syllable. And then we have TRACT, tract. We know that that's also a closed syllable. Next, we have another word, beach. First, we have our scholars mark the vowels, E and A. And so we ask ourselves, could this word have two separate syllables? Well, we have two separate vowels, but they're side by side. Are they working together as a team? Absolutely. So both of these vowel teams, they're working together side by side and they create one sound, which means this is a one syllable word. And the CH is something that our scholars will learn as another digraph alert. The C and the H, they don't say their original name. They don't say, all right, they say ch. And so with that being said, we know it's a digraph. And so it makes a completely different sound. And so this falls under vowel teams and it's a one syllable word. Beach. Next we have cradle. And here we identify the vowels, which is the A and the E. We have the consonant, and then we have an L and an E. Whoa. So this follows the rule. We can never split the D and the L up, and we can never split the L and the E up. So with that being said, we know that we have to split this word up between the A and the D. And so it's a two-syllable word, cradle, cradle. So, in the first part of the sentence, is this an open, closed, magic E, controlled R, vowel sound, or consonant plus the LE situation? Well, this syllable ends in a vowel. So that means it's an open syllable. The second part ends in the DLE. It ends in a consonant plus an LE, which follows that rule as well. And let's try spoken. Here we have our scholars identify the vowels, V, E. Then we have our scholars should separate the word. Well, we know in this situation, we have an open syllable, so they know to split it here between the O and the K. And then we have our vowel here and our consonant. So the S and the P, they go hand in hand. That being said, we have an open syllable in the front, the first half of this word. And then we have a closed syllable, the second half of the word. Lastly, we have limit. Identify the vowels, divide the consonants up. Then we have our scholars separate the word. We ask ourselves, is this a consonant plus LE? Vowel teams, controlled R or magic E? No. Okay. Well, as we split it up, LE, we know this syllable ends in a vowel, which makes it open. This syllable ends in a consonant, which makes it closed. And that's all. Thank you for your patience and your time as we learn how to explicitly teach our scholars syllable types: open, close, controlled R, consonant plus LE, vowel teams, and the magic E. Thank you for your time and attention.